Hey, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it. Give account if I abuse it, just a tiny little minute, but our eternities are wrapped up in it. Welcome to the Jolly Good News Report, and I'm grateful for you taking time out to be with me today. Good morning. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful day we have here. This is the day the Lord has made, so we might as well rejoice and be glad in it. Am I right about it? I know I'm right about it. And so I want to welcome you today to this Jolly Good News Report. Many of you know that I've been doing this now since the pandemic started. I started in March because I was just sick and tired of all the bad news. No good news. There was bad news, sad news, depressing news, despondent news, nothing but bad news all day long. And I said, people need good news. In fact, I was reading my Bible in my morning meditation, and in Proverbs, the 15th chapter, it said that good news is good for your spirit. It's like medicine for your soul. I said, that's what we need. We need some good news for your soul, for your spirit, for your mind, for your body. Good news makes a difference. So that's why we started the Jolly Good News Report. I just did it. I said I'll do it and see what happens. And your response has been what has made the difference. I want to ask you to do me a favor. Start a watch party right now so others can know that we're watching, we're on, we're live, we're talking about it, and we're giving it up right now. I want you to be part of it. I want everybody to be part of it. Wouldn't you want your friends to know about something good if you wanted to share about a restaurant? And wouldn't you want some of your friends to tell you something good? Well, we got good news today. So join me and join others to be with me and you as we go through this broadcast today. I want to thank you. I want to thank you. I want to thank all of you too who have been visiting my jollygoodnews.org website. Some people said they didn't know I had a faith-based website, a nonprofit, a 501c3 nonprofit. And some said, I want to bless you and I want to be part of your campaign to help more people, to bless people with books in prisons and DVDs in schools for young people, and donations and impact to the African American Museum of History and scholarships. You're doing a lot. I said, thank you. So I want to thank all of you, and please go to jollygoodnews.org and check it out. Walk around, look around, see if it's something in there that will bless you. And if so, enjoy it. And if you want to be a blessing to us, we will greatly appreciate it. I'm going to read something from my book, It Only Takes a Minute to Change Your Life, that will apply to today's good news. One of the stories specifically, this replies to it. Philios love. There are three types of love. Everybody knows there are loves. There's agape, eros, and philios. Agape is the God love. Eros is the love between man and woman. And then there's philios. Philios, which is the love between friends. We all have friends and relatives we love and care about, yet it is a different feeling than when we fall in love. Philios love is the love between friends that binds us together and moves us to share that which we have with others. It is a love like Philadelphia, the brotherly love city. Philios is a love that's intrinsic. I want you to remember that, because we're going to talk about Philios love today. Now, every week, in my Jolly Good News Report, I tell you, somebody asked about the books. They said, where are your books? I want some of your books. I said, okay, well, I'll put them out here for you. You'll know they're here. They're available online on my website. If you go to wjspeaks.com/success, wjspeaks.com/success. You can get all my books right there in a digital form or physical form. If they're physical, I'll sign them before we send them out. If they're digital, you can get them immediately, download them, and you're ready to go. All right. Now, every week I give you some good news. I'm excited about it as usual. Every week I give you some of the newest reports and newest statistics. Let's see what we got this week for the statistical analysis of what's going on and what is going on in the world. Well, if you're looking for the bad news, don't look here, because I'm not giving it to you. You go to the regular television to tell you how many people got affected with the coronavirus this week. They'll tell you how many people died with the coronavirus. I'm not dealing with that, because you got enough of that bad news all day long. You need some good news. Here's the good news right now. According to the World Health Organization statistic, today we are willing and able to say to you happily that 5,500,000 people have recovered. Are home with their families. 5,500,000 people have recovered and are home with their families. Let's clap that up. Let's clap that up. Isn't that great? That's good news. That's good news. That's good news. So that's the great stat of the week. Now, I give you some great stories every week, and I want to give you a couple of the stories that I thought were so profound this week. This one I loved a lot. And you might have seen it on the television. It was in Britain. A black British guy was who was at a Black Lives Matter protest, where they were met by counter-protesters, leftists, Nazis, neo-Nazis, and so forth. And one of those neo-Nazis got injured in the melee. He was in a fetal position. This big guy, black guy with big muscles, came and picked him up, put him over his shoulder, and said, his life matters like our lives matter. Everybody's life matters. And he said, let's not do to them what they would want to do to others. Let's be loving. And he said, they took him and surrounded and took him to safety and to get some help. And the white left counter protester said, today you changed my life and you changed my thinking. Black Lives Matter. Thank you. And so the black guy who carried him out said, it was not a black or white thing. It's do the right thing. And the right thing is that Black Lives Matter and that everybody should be treated equally. Equality is for everyone. I thought that was a great story, because we got to get past this black white. It's not a black white. It's about a system that's racist, that needs to be dismantled and dismantled now. It doesn't need to be any longer where someone who's black is strangled, put a knee to their neck over a $20 bill, that their life does not matter. As I wrote in an article earlier this week, when a white person dies, the world is up in arms. But a black person will die. They go, oh, well. We cannot have an oh, well attitude. Okay? So Black Lives Matter, and I want to thank that. There's another one, another great story. A white Tennessee police officer stopped for breakfast at a Cracker Barrel. When he finished eating his meal, he went to pay, and he learned that two black ladies, had paid his bill and left a note saying, Black Lives Matter, and so does yours. Thank you for your service. Your breakfast is paid. Have a great day. And he took a picture of that note and put it on social media and said, my life changed today, because I realized that compassion is not color. There's no color in compassion. He said, Black Lives Matter. Here's what I'm saying to everybody, that it really does make a difference when we get a mindset. This is not about a black or white thing. This is doing the right thing. The doing the right thing is that everybody is treated equally. Everybody, not somebody, some people, everybody. There's no superiority. Everybody is a child of God, and everybody has value. The same value. Not 3/5 of value. Not 4/5 value. The same amount of value. That's what Black Lives Matter mean. As I had to have a conversation with one of my white friends, and I made it a point every week to have a conversation, a critical conversation with somebody I love, who I've loved for many years, who've been friends of mine for years, but we've never had a critical conversation about race. And all of them usually say, I don't see race when I say you. But I said, well, this time I do want you to look at me and see race. This time, I know you're my brother from another mother, but I want you to see race, because this one is the tipping point, and we have as a community of Black people, and I am Black. I know you might not think it because we're so close. I'm a Black man in America, and I could have been on that ground, or my son could have been on that ground with a knee to the neck, or my nephew, my stockbroker nephew, or one of my Emmy Award-winning nephews who make music could have been on that ground. No, it must end now. So Black Lives Matter, and it's not black or white, it's doing the right thing. Now, here's another one. I got this one. Now, this was a study that was done by Ohio State University. It shows that what motivates people to do the right thing. That was a powerful, it's a power. And this week, on early part of this week, I was on a radio tour. A PR firm who I'm gonna give a shout out to, the Jeff Creeley and his team in Dallas contacted me and said, we need an expert like yourself to do this radio tour. And we worked it out, and I did the radio tour. And we did 11 interviews over a couple hours. Every 5 minutes, the phone would ring, it would be another interview all over the country. And they wanted me to talk about this study. The study was done by University of Ohio State University. And it showed that people are intrinsically interested in helping others, even when they get nothing in return. I'm going to play the interview. They were kind enough to send me the interview. So I want you to see the interview. Well, you don't really see it. You get to hear the interview. And it's a powerful interview about this whole process of being in a position where people can get to see what impact you have. So I'm going to first, I have to, before I do that, before I share, I have to change the mic so that you can hear it. Okay, here we go. All right, let's go to the share the screen and then let you hear the interview.
Hope for humanity amid the death of George Floyd, but there's a new study that reveals not all is lost. People really do want to be kind to each other. Researchers found that people overwhelmingly choose to be generous to others, even if it is at the cost of themselves and regardless of external motives. Motivational speaker Dr. Willie Jolley is joining us here on the Kogo News Live line. And Dr. Jolley, this really can't be a surprise to you.
No, it's not a surprise to me. And good morning, LaDonna, and thank you for having me. And I always begin the same way. I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it, forced upon me. Can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me and you to use it. So I want to make the most of this minute, this moment. We are in an unprecedented time where we are seeing a pandemic, we're seeing an economic downturn, a massive job loss, and now racial strife and social upheaval. In fact, I was telling someone the other day, I'm waiting for the locusts to show up.
Right, I'm waiting for the last of the four horsemen myself. But yeah, I get your point.
So we would think that in these times of high stress that we would see people not be kind, but we're seeing this study that was done by this, Ohio State University that shows that people are being kind and not for anything that they get from it. And they did four groups. One group was if they thought they were going to be, others were going to see them do it. Another group was that somebody had seen somebody be kind earlier, and so they reciprocated. One was, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. But one was just nothing. They got nothing from it. And that was the greatest group. That was the highest level. And I think that is something we see now because of the fact we see it in GoFundMe campaigns where people just give to people who are struggling or hurting and they hear about, or somebody on a toll booth who says, I got the guy behind me. Because I believe intrinsically we have this thing called philia, which is where philanthropy comes from, which is a friend of others, a friend of people. And so I think we all want to be somewhat philanthropic. Even if we don't have a lot of money, we can do a little something. And we're seeing now in this time of great change and challenge that people want to help others. There's a quote I love to share with people about this time from a guy that I think everybody knows his name. He was on the scene a few years ago. His name was Benjamin Franklin, and he said, "Change and justice will not be served until those who are unaffected are as outraged as those who are affected." And I believe that's what we're saying. I live in Washington, D.C. Recently went to a protest near my home, and there were twice as many white people as there were black people. And what that showed me was that people are at a point now where they're saying, you know, we've got to do the right thing. We got to help other people. And I believe that kindness is coming out now. And I also believe that this time of change is going to be a time when we see, when we come out of this pandemic, out of all the challenge and all the change, that this will be a better place to live. We'll have a better world. Why do I say that? Well, many people know that when you have an infant, a baby, and that baby crawls around, one day that baby says, I'm going to stand on my own 2 feet, and for the first time. But in their first attempt, they fall down. And they fall sometimes on their backside, but sometimes on their face. But the parent says, do it again. Now, the parent knows that it's uncomfortable for them to see their child fall on their face, but they know if they don't encourage that baby will never learn to walk or run. And so during this time, I believe it's important that we encourage each other and say, we're going to get through this. This is going to be a good thing. Just be kind to each other, help each other, and we will. And I, in fact, during the first part of the pandemic here in Washington, we were shut down. Don't go out. When you go out, you get fined. So I, during that time, was working on a new project. I had not done a music video in forever, and I was been in the music business years ago. And I did a music video called "We'll Get Through This." I released it, and it exploded around the world. So people started saying that blessed me to just see that together we'll get through this. I want to encourage people to go and see it. It's called "We'll Get Through This." You can go to winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie.com to see it. And during this time, I believe we will help each other. We'll be kind to each other. We'll encourage each other. And it's intrinsic. And as a result, we're going to see a better world.
Dr. Willie Jolley, thank you so much for your time. As always, sir, have a great day.
Have a great day. You be well.
All right. Some Americans have lost hope for humanity.
All right. Okay, we're back. Wow. We'll get through this. Hopefully you like the song. You've seen the song. Do me a favor, share the song with others. How'd you like that interview? Send me an email. Let me know how you like these, trying to mix in some media with this, because I want to be like a regular television program. I'm going to do more and more. I had planned to premiere my new song, It's All About Your Attitude, but I'm technically still learning how to do that, but I'll get to that. But let's talk about what you like today about that message. The fact that we are intrinsically motivated. People are. And that's what the study showed, that some people saw others do it, and they said, oh, well, I'll copy that. Some people said, well, you did it for me, I'll do it for you. Some people said, well, you know, my coworkers were looking at me when we walked by the homeless person. I gave them a look. But some people, there was no intrinsic anything for them, nothing intrinsically motivating them that they got something out of it other than philios, the love to help your brother or sister. And I love that. 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 And so that's one of the things I want us all to do and show that. Now, I've been telling you that every week I try and give you something that I believe will be a blessing to you from Scripture. And one of my favorite scriptures is in the book of Romans. And I had the honor of speaking at River of Life Church a couple weeks ago. And at River of Life Church, they had a wonderful service where I was a guest speaker virtually. And it was my first one doing a virtual message for churches. I've done lots of corporate. So here's my message from that program, a little bit of it. I'll give you a few minutes about it because it's such a profound one. Is this, that in Romans, the 12th chapter, the 1st through the 2nd verse, it says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, By the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. But then it comes the second verse, which that has been said, and many people have said, and I have agreed, that they could possibly be the most powerful 17 words in the Bible in a sequence. And do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now, the rest of that verse is that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Now, I like the Message version. Peterson wrote the Message version. I read the Message version every day, and it's so profound because it's a motivational version in today's words, in today's language. And here's what it says. So here's what I want you to do. God helping you. Take your everyday, ordinary life. You're walking, you're talking, you're sleeping, you're eating, you're going to work, and whatever you do around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for God. Don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit into it without even thinking about it. Instead, fix your attention on God. You'll be changed from the inside out, transformed, changed from the inside out. Readily recognizing what he wants from you and quickly responding to it. Unlike the culture around you, always dragging you down to its level of immaturity, God brings the best out of you and develops a well-formed maturity in you. Wow. And my message was, it was time to be transformed. It's time to rise up and be all you were born to be. That transformation is a credible thing, because we know that change happens, and we all talk about change and our lives change. How many of you remember your first day going into high school? Yeah. Remember how big the halls were? Anybody ever visit your high school after you graduated, a year, 2, 3 years later, 5 years later? Remember how small the halls looked? The halls didn't change, you did. We grow, we expand, our perspectives change over time. And so that is what changes, but change happens whether you like it or not. It comes upon us. The weather changes, the time changes, people change. I always like to say, can you control the time? No. Can you control the weather? No. Can you control what other people say or do? No. What's the one thing you could control? And you have control over you and your attitude. And change happens and you can't control it. But transformation is something you choose to do. And transformation takes work. If you're going to be transformed, be transformed. Change from the inside out, or transform from the inside out. To go from the inside out, you got to work on it. You got to become a better you, a bigger you, a greater you. And that's going to take work. Transformation always takes work. So as we go through life, I'm encouraging you to get a transformed mindset by the renewing of your mind. And your renewing of your mind happens because of what goes in. Your input determines your output. Garbage in, garbage out. Good stuff in, good stuff out. That is why I'm encouraging people to start every day with something good. I know most people have a routine where they get up and they turn on their television, and the first thing they hear, how many people got killed, how many fires there were, how many new terroristic threats are, how the new the coronavirus statistics. No, that's not the way. I want to encourage you to start your day. Start your day with the pure, the powerful, the positive. Make a commitment every day. When you wake up, I want to encourage you to do what I do. I wake up and I look up, my eyes open up, and I say out loud, thank you. I say, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for another day, because I didn't have to wake up. You didn't have to wake up. Every day above ground is a good day. You don't believe it? Try missing one. So I start off with an attitude of gratitude. And then I want to listen to something positive. I don't know if you know, I'm now on 48 stations across America, or my Get Up Morning with Erica Campbell radio show. You can listen to me 820 on the Praise Network. If you're in DC, it's Praise 104.1. I don't know all the other call numbers around the country, but it's the Praise Network. Get Up Morning with Erica Campbell at 820 Eastern Time, 720 Central. But you say, I'm not in an area where that is. I might be in Africa. I might be in Nigeria. I know we got some people from all over the world. Well, you can just go to winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie.com, and sign up for my newsletter. Every day we send out a 1-minute message to our entire newsletter with a positive message of the day. Same ones you got on radio are in video, and they are on my newsletter. We send it out, but it's also on IG. If you follow me on IG, my IG is The Real Willie Jolley. You can get this positive, motivational, inspirational information. So transformation always starts with your head. Now, in this book, Setback, Set Up for a Comeback, I tell the story about a little boy going through a forest, comes upon an emperor moth, struggling to make the transformation from a moth to a butterfly. He looks at his struggles to get through the small opening in the cocoon. An hour goes by, 2 hours go by. He says, why won't, so he takes out he sees it struggling, so he takes out a penknife after 2 hours and cuts a slit in the cocoon to make it easy for the bug so it wouldn't have to struggle. Out falls a bug that's neither a moth nor a butterfly. It has a big bloated body and small, shriveled, undeveloped wings. He goes to get his grandfather. Grandfather, it won't fly, it won't fly, it won't fly, grandfather. Grandfather looks at its wings are undeveloped. He said, what did you do? I cut a slit to make it easy so it wouldn't have to struggle. He said, that's where the mistake was made. See, it is in the process of forcing its big body through that small opening that it has to force the fluid out the body into the wings. Without forcing the fluid out the body into the wings will never develop. Without developed wings, that butterfly cannot fly, and a butterfly that cannot fly will never survive in the wilderness. The moral of the story is that life and flight are in the struggle. We must struggle. How many got children? Now, when your children were infants, they crawled around. But one day, miraculously, as you heard on the interview, they stood up on their own 2 feet. What was the next thing they did? They fell down. Now, sometimes they fell on their backsides, but sometimes they fell on their face. But you not only allowed them to fall on their face, you didn't say, hey, stay there, baby, did you? No, stay there. No, you stay. No, you said, get up. And the baby got up and they tried again. You said, do it again. And they got up and they fell on their backsides or fell on their face. You said, do it again. You allowed them to fall on their face because you knew if they never fell and got up, they never learned how to walk. And they never fell and got up, they never learned how to run. They never fell and got up, they never learned how to maximize their potential. Some of us have been knocked down in life, have been thrust down, and it's time for us to get back up. It's time for us to get up and be all we were born to be. It's time for us to fly like we were born to fly. So I want to say to you today, it's your time to fly. It's your time to get up. It's your time to be all you were born to be. It's going to take transformation. And that transformation starts with your thinking. Starts with your thinking. As a man thinketh, so as he is. Are you ready to be transformed? Are you ready to grow and go to the next level? Are you ready for a new, greater, better existence? Well, if the answer is yes, then make a commitment that you're going to fill yourself up on a daily basis with the pure, the powerful, the positive. If you don't have my books or resources like my books, you need to have these kind of resources. Or you should go to the library and get positive books. If you could see my library, not just these, all over, books over here, I got books everywhere. I can't even get to all the books. I've always got books that I'm trying to grow my thinking. Input determines output. So I want to encourage you to be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that renewing of your mind is that you're constantly growing your thinking. You're constantly growing your thinking. So I am excited about the good news. There's still good news in the good news, in this Bible that I read. I love the fact that it's not just a book of salvation or soteriology as they teach in seminary, the doctrine of soteriology, salvation, but it's also motivation and inspiration and encouragement and uplift and empowerment. If you put on the right kind of glasses, I love looking through my glasses, that if you would take action on your faith, you can be transformed. Now, remember, change happens to you, whether you do anything or not. It happens. The transformation is when you make a commitment and a decision to take action to become better. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Well, look, I hope you enjoyed today's Jolly Good News Report. I want to encourage you to continue to put in your schedule to watch it. But I encourage you to do a couple other things. Tell people we're doing this. I want to give you good news, faith-based news, lessons from life, lessons from the news that is good. Like the two ladies who left the officer, a note that Black Lives Matter and so does yours. We paid for your breakfast. Thank you for your service. So that the police will know we're not against them in terms of them being police officers. We just want them to treat everybody equally. And don't kill people for minor offenses. There should be no more of these police brutality pointed deaths. Not necessary. My friend from Australia called me. I'm doing an event tonight with my friend Les Brown. Actually going to be, it says Australian time on Sunday, but we're 14 hours behind them. So today is our, not quite yet today, but I'm doing an event tonight with in Sydney with Les Brown. It's called the Get Motivated, Get Wealthy event. Maybe you can look it up online. I'll tell you where it is. It's getmotivatedgetwealthy.com.au. And my session is going to be tonight about 11:40. I'll be on live and you can watch it. It's free. But my friend who is the promoter said, you know what? We don't even put handcuffs on people unless they're trying to physically harm the officer. That's first. Rarely do anybody ever get handcuffed. Second, he said, here's what we would have done with Rayshard Brooks, who was sitting in his car, had been drinking too much maybe. And rather than locking him up, we would have said, hey, mate, where do you live? Let's take you home. That's what we would have done in Australia. Why would you lock him up when he already said, I'm not that far from home? Help him out. Be a good mate, as he said it. So, look, our time is up. I hope God bless you. Thank you so much for yours. Continue to share this. Was this good? If so, give me some love. Let me know. Put it in the chat. Send me a note. Email me. Do whatever. Put out a search party. Send a bird. I don't care. Get the word to me that this is good and you are thankful for it. And I'm grateful for being able to share it. That was what God gave me on my heart, and that's why I'm doing it. Go to jollygoodnews.org. Be part of our partners. People who want to say, I'm in, and make a commitment and make a donation. I appreciate it. I really do, because we're going to take this global. Amen? Even with television, because some people are liking online, but some people still like traditional television. We're going to find every which way we can to give people some good news. Hey, this is Dr. Willie Jolley. Go remember wjspeaks.com/success. If you want to get some of the books, some of you've asked where you can get the books, wjspeaks.com/success and jollygoodnews.org for the Good News station and channel. God bless you. Heaven smile upon you. And remember, your best is still yet to come. God bless you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.